out. We'll see how it works. So today, what we are working with, we're going to be working with solving a variable or for a variable when we have two different variables in an equation. So here's what I'm talking about. We may have an equation that says 2x plus y equals 4. It's very common in algebra when we get into graphing that you're going to be asked to solve the equation for y. So in order to solve the equation for y, we simply have to get the y by itself, which means we need to move the 2x to the other side. So in order to move the 2x to the other side, it would be very similar to when we're solving the equation with two variables, or variables on both sides. We'd simply subtract the 2x from both sides. So when we subtract the 2x from both sides, these x's would cancel out, and you would be left with y is equal to 4 minus 2x. Now some of you may choose to write it as y equals a negative 2x plus 4. For me, I really don't mind either way. So that's the first thing you're going to have to do is have to be able to solve an equation for y. So let's look at another one. This time we'll try and make it a little more difficult. So if I had a 4x plus a 2y is equal to a 6, again, the idea is we want to get the variable y by itself, and it may not be y, it could be x. So we're going to try and get y by itself. And to do that, we would again start out by moving my x's, so I subtract 4x from both sides. And you'd be left with a 2y is equal to a 6 minus 4x. Now, be careful not to try and subtract the 6 and the 4 because they are not like terms. So at this step, we would again have to do one more step before the y is by itself. And that step we would simply divide by 2 on both sides. So if we divide by 2 on both sides, we would end up with y is equal to a 3 minus 2x. Or, as some of you may choose to write, y equals negative 2x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to give you one more. You can pause the video, try and solve it by yourself, and then we got one thing to add to it. So the equation that I want you to work with is negative 3x minus 4y is equal to an 8. So go ahead and pause the video, try and solve for the y. And I'm just going to give you a hint, there will be a fraction in your answer. So when you solve this equation, you should start out by adding the 3x to both sides. So you would add a 3x to both sides. After you add the 3x, you left the negative 4y is equal to an 8 plus 3x. Then you should have divided by the negative 4. If you divide by the negative 4, you would be left with a y is equal to a negative 2. And then a 3x divided by a negative 4 would be a negative, so I'm going to put a minus 3/4 x. Okay. Again, I said there's going to be one more step. So after we solve for the y, we ended up with this equation, y is equal to 2 minus 3/4 x. Now, the direction will say to find the value of y for each value of x. So for instance, they may give you x values of a 2, a 4, and a negative 8. So one way to organize it is to put it in a table, an XY table or a T-chart. So you got 2, 4, and a negative 8. So what we do, we take our 2 and we plug it in for the x. So if y is equal to 2 minus 3/4 x, if I put in the 2, it would be 2 minus 3/4 times a 2. So 3/4 times 2 is a negative 1/2. So it would be 2 minus 1/2, which would end up with a 1/2. If we plug in a 4, I would have 2 minus 3/4 times a 4. And that would be a 2 minus a 3, which gives us a negative 1. And the last one, if we plug in a negative 8, I have 2 minus 3/4 times a So I would have 2 plus 6, which gives us the value of 8. Okay, I'm going to give you one more, and I want you to try it. So if I had a 2x plus y equals 7, go ahead and pause it, solve for y. And you should end up with y equals 7 minus 2x, because we would have subtracted out 2x from both sides. So then I want you to plug in these values of x. If I gave you x is equal to a negative 3, 2, and a 5. Go ahead and make your t-chart, plug in those values. Pause the video and find your values. So now, when you plugged in those 3 values, you should have had 7 minus 2 times negative 3, which would have given us, again, this negative 3 is simply going back into here for the x. So we should have ended up with 7 plus 6, which gives us a 13. If we plug in the 2, I'd have 7 minus 2 times a 2. That is 7 minus 4. So our value of the equation would have been 3. If you plug in a 5, you'd have 7 minus 2 times 5, which is 7 minus 10, which gives you a negative 3. Okay, that's all I have for this video. You can stop the video now. It's just going to take me a little time to get everything shut down. So you can stop the video.